Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Chinese ebook before it's gone. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this series, you'll master Chinese pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in Chinese, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In the first lesson of this series, you'll learn about the building blocks of the Chinese pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. As you're probably quite aware, Chinese doesn't use an alphabetical writing system like English does. Instead, it uses characters that are comprised of parts which depict physical objects or abstract ideas. Literacy in Chinese requires the memorization of thousands of components and characters. As you can see, this can be quite daunting for new learners of Chinese. For example, if you were asked to pronounce this character, where would you even begin? You'll pick up the writing system eventually, but since we're just focused on pronunciation, we need to skip that for now. We need to start dealing with the sounds of Chinese without the baggage of Chinese characters, and that's where pinyin comes in. Pinyin is the transcription of Chinese characters using Roman letters. This makes learning Chinese much easier, particularly for English speakers. As you begin to learn more characters and improve in Chinese, you'll eventually rely on pinyin less and less, but for now, it's a good place to start. Now, let's have a look at all the sounds in Chinese. There are 26 consonant sounds and 14 vowel sounds in Chinese. You can form every single word in Chinese by using these sounds. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 26 consonant sounds in Chinese, you already know 15 of them. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore 7 of the vowel sounds for the same reason. The only thing standing between you and perfect Chinese pronunciation are 11 new consonant and 7 new vowel sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Yinru, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
你好，我是殷如。
Throughout this series, Yinru will be giving you native pronunciation examples for you to imitate. But for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of Chinese.
哪儿、小、食、肉、北京、钱、早餐、葱、中文、长、玉、他、累、月、冷、日、楼、绿。
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes Chinese learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of Chinese. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your Chinese sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer? You will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in Chinese. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on. And for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. What is hard about pronouncing Chinese to you? Tell us about it in the comments. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn the top 5 Chinese pronunciation mistakes to avoid. These are common mistakes that students of Chinese tend to make. So pay close attention and make sure that you don't make these same mistakes too. Are you ready? Then let's get started. Number 1. Tones. Chinese is a tonal language. The tones are a major challenge for Chinese learners of all levels, but they can't be avoided. Using the wrong tone can give a word a completely different meaning and lead to miscommunication.
Ma, 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 ma.
In particular, learners have a hard time with the third tone. Listen to an example which uses this tone.
你
It's the most unique tone out of all the tones because the pitch dips and then rises.
你
Imagine a ball bouncing on the ground as you make this tone. Down and up. We'll discuss the tones in detail in lessons 8 and 9. Number 2. Mispronouncing the U sound. English speakers tend to read the pinyin U like the in good. This is incorrect. It should be more like the double O sound in the word boot.
乌乌
Whenever you're pronouncing the Chinese U, imagine a little girl pouting and saying no in Chinese.
不
You want to round your lips as much as possible. It's better to over-exaggerate than to make the wrong sound. Number 3. Pronouncing people incorrectly. Many people tend to mispronounce the E sound in the word people. They commonly substitute it for the English E, as in red. This is incorrect. The Chinese E sounds more like an ugh sound.
人
It's identical to the E sound at the end of the word problem. In fact, the Chinese E is a very special sound because it's the most neutral of all sounds. It requires the least amount of effort to pronounce because you don't have to move your lips, tongue, or mouth. All you need to do is relax and have everything in a resting position and just let your vocal cords do the rest.
人
We'll take an in-depth look at the vowel sounds in the next lesson. Number 4. Pronouncing the Chinese Q as a ch sound. This is one of the biggest mistakes for students of Chinese. There are many ch-like sounds in Chinese, all of which are distinct. The challenge for English speakers is to first perceive the difference and then to recreate it. The Chinese Q sound should be pronounced with the tip of the tongue touching the bottom teeth, while the blade of the tongue lays flat behind the front teeth.
钱
We'll break down the differences between the ch sounds of Chinese in lesson 7. Number 5. Adding an R sound to the end of to eat.
吃
Students of Chinese tend to add an R sound in the middle or at the end of a word. This generally occurs when the speaker isn't used to pronouncing the Chinese CH. The Chinese CH requires you to place your tongue in a position that you're unfamiliar with. If you're an English speaker, your brain naturally assumes that you're trying to pronounce an English R due to muscle memory. Watch out for this when you're practicing the Chinese CH. We'll cover ch-like sounds in lesson 7. Now you know the top 5 Chinese pronunciation mistakes to avoid. Try to be careful so that you don't commit these same mistakes. Still feel a bit worried? Over the rest of this series, we'll cover all of these topics in depth. In the next lesson, we'll start learning vowel sounds in Chinese. Which of these 5 mistakes is the hardest to avoid? Have you learned any tricks to deal with them? Let us know in the comments. Stick with us and you'll overcome these quickly. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn all the Chinese vowels and their variant vowel sounds.
啊 i o u
With these sounds, you can pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in Chinese. Some vowels may be hard for you to distinguish, especially for English speakers, so make sure you listen carefully. Remember that memorizing and reproducing the sound is the goal. Don't get too frustrated if you forget when to use the variant sounds. That'll come naturally later. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first vowel is
啊 ta 大茶
This is almost identical to the A sound in the word father, except the tongue is in more of a neutral position. When you say the word father, do you feel a small pressure at the back of your mouth? The idea is to relieve that pressure, keeping everything in the same position. Just move your tongue forward a bit. You can kind of get a feel for this if you over-exaggerate the ah in father by opening your mouth as wide as possible. When you move your tongue forward, you will relieve that pressure, and it should sound a little whinier as a result. Study how Yinru pronounces this sound.
啊啊 啊啊
When paired with the following, the A changes.
少糖
It becomes identical to the A sound in the word father.
啊啊啊啊
When paired with the following, the A changes.
咸短
It becomes identical to the E sound in the word red.
哎哎哎哎
The next vowel is
人热可
It's identical to the E sound at the end of the word problem.
呃呃
When paired with the following, the E changes.
累
It becomes similar to the A sound in the word play. However, try not to carry over the Y sound too much. Try to relax your jaw and say it as if you're allowing the vowel to spill out from your mouth. Listen to how Yinru pronounces this vowel.
哎哎哎哎
When paired with the following, the E changes.
切
When paired like this, it becomes the E sound in red from before.
月
This is identical to the previous sound, but with rounded lips. Try saying the E in red while rounding your lips. Now listen to how Yinru says it.
哎哎哎哎
When paired with the following, the E changes.
扔
It's similar to the O sound in the word boring, but with unrounded lips. You'll find that when you start unrounding your lips, it'll start to change to more of a U sound. Try it. Now listen to how Yinru pronounces it.
呃
The next vowel is
一北京衣服秘密
It's identical to the double E sound in the word see.
一一一一
When paired with the following, the I changes.
日知识紫色
This is similar to the previous sound. It's kind of like the double E sound in the word see, except your tongue is a little bit further back in your mouth in a more centralized position. One trick to pronouncing this vowel is to say the word ye, as in, O ye of little faith. The Y sound should raise your tongue to the correct position in your mouth. Try it. Now listen to how Yinru pronounces this vowel.
一一一一
When paired with the following, the I changes.
爱飞
It's identical to the short I sound in the word bit. The next vowel is
哦我菠菜魔术
It's identical to the OU sound in the word ought.
哦哦 o, o,
When paired with the following, the O changes.
红，空，中国。
It's identical to the double O sound in the word hook.
o, o, a, a,
When paired with the following, the O changes.
手，欧洲，肉。
The O becomes a little bit like the O sound in the word O. However, try not to carry over the W sound too much.
o, 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 o,
And the last vowel is
乌，哭，书，父亲。
it's similar to the double O sound in the word boot. However, you want to slightly pout your lips more and exaggerate the rounding. Listen to how Yinru pronounces this vowel.
乌，乌，乌，乌。
When paired with the following, the U changes.
绿，玉，去。
This is like the double E sound in C, but with rounded lips. Try saying the double E in C while rounding your lips. Now listen to how Yinru pronounces this vowel.
吁，吁，吁，吁。
Well done! You've just learned all the vowels and their variant sounds in Chinese. With these sounds, you can properly pronounce any vowel that could possibly appear in the Chinese language. Isn't that great? Well, that's all for vowels. In the next lesson, you'll start learning consonant sounds. Which vowel sound was the most difficult for you to learn? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 7 Chinese consonants.
g, k, l, n, n.
These consonant sounds are identical to the ones in English, so they should already be familiar to you. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
飞，房子，风水。
like the F in the word find. The next consonant is
g, 高，给，工作。
like the K in the word skim or skip. Be very careful with this sound though, because it's not like the K in kit, for example. The K in skim doesn't have a burst of air at the end of the sound, whereas kit does. Sounds that have a burst of air are said to be aspirated, while sounds that do not have a burst of air, like this one, are unaspirated. Unlike English, Chinese differentiates between aspirated and unaspirated sounds, so be careful of this.
g, 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 g.
The next consonant is
口渴，顾客，开关。
This is the aspirated version of the K sound, meaning there should be a burst or release of air, like the K in the word kit. The next consonant is
了，老，龙，力量，
like the L in the word let.
了，了，了，了，
The next consonant is
母亲，门，名字，
like the M in the word mouse.
嗯，嗯，嗯，嗯，
The next consonant is
男，您，牛奶，
like the N in the word nice.
呢，呢，呢，呢，
And the final consonant sound is
北京，上海，香港，
like the sound in the word sing.
嗯，嗯，嗯，嗯。
Well done! You just learned your first 7 consonants in Chinese.
G, k, l, n, n,
In the next lesson, you'll learn 8 more consonant sounds that are identical to the ones in English. Was seeing the pronunciation illustrations helpful? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 8 Chinese consonants.
b, p, s, d, t, w, h, y.
These consonant sounds are identical to the ones in English, so they should already be familiar to you. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
b, 爆炸，宝宝，杯子，
Be careful, because this isn't like a hard B sound. This is the unaspirated version of the P sound as it occurs in the word span.
b, 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 b.
The next consonant is
朋友，皮包，陪伴，
This is the aspirated version of the P sound as it occurs in the word pan. The next consonant is
3. 颜色，搜索，
like the S in the word see. The next consonant is
大，对，东，
This isn't a hard D sound. This is the unaspirated version of the T sound as it occurs in the word stand.
的，的，的，的，
The next consonant is
它特点地图
This is the aspirated version of the T sound as it occurs in the word tan. The next consonant is
问王问外国人
like the W in the word we.
问问问问
The next consonant is
和红色很好
It's easy to think this is an H sound, but it's more like a prolonged K sound. The trick is to make a K sound without cutting off the airstream completely. It's like the CH sound in the word yech, or the Scottish loch, as in Loch Ness. The final consonant for this lesson is
也鸭一样游泳
like the Y in the word you.
也也也也
Well done! You just learned another 8 consonant sounds in Chinese.
b p s d t w h y
In the next lesson, you'll learn 6 new consonant sounds. These sounds don't appear in English, so they'll be trickier than the last batch. Were there more common sounds than you expected? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 6 Chinese consonants.
二西sh r j q
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so they'll likely be new to you. Be sure to practice them because they're unique sounds which learners often get wrong. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
二哪儿一点儿没事儿
This consonant sound is special because it only occurs at the end of a word, and in certain dialects you may not hear it at all. You can think of this consonant as an over-exaggerated R sound. American speakers can typically produce this sound when saying the word error. To get a better understanding of what this feels like, try saying the word very slowly while exaggerating the R sound. Focus on the double R at the beginning of the word. Your tongue should be curled upwards, just past your gum ridge. Listen to how Yinru pronounces this sound.
二二二二
The next 2 sounds that we'll tackle are often very difficult for English speakers to differentiate, so pay extra attention. Both of these consonants sound like the sh in sheep. However, they're not the same. Be extra careful because it's essential that you distinguish between the 2 following sounds. The first sh sounding consonant is
西安小谢谢
This sounds like an S sound mixed with a little bit of an SH sound. It's best to think of this consonant as a constricted SH sound, or as if you were trying to hush an S. One trick to producing this sound is to try and say the word ship while keeping the tip of your tongue in contact with the bottom teeth at all times and using the blade of your tongue to produce the hushing sound. Do not protrude your lips as you would in English. They should remain spread. The second sh sounding consonant is
sh, 时, 上海, 神圣.
This sounds like an over-exaggerated sh sound. The easiest way to pronounce this consonant is to first try and pronounce an R sound. Now, with your tongue in that position, try to make a sh sound at the same time. It's kind of like you're saying the word sure. Got it? Your tongue should be curled upwards. In fact, it should be in exactly the same position as the over-exaggerated R that we just learned at the beginning of this lesson. Now listen to how Yinru says it.
Sh, 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 sh.
The next consonant is
日, 肉, 热, 日本人.
This is identical to the previous sound. The only difference is that this consonant is voiced, meaning that you should feel vibrations coming from your throat. It almost sounds like a mix of an R sound and a Z sound. Listen to how Yinru pronounces this sound.
日, 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 日.
Do you remember the difference between aspirated and unaspirated sounds? Aspirated consonants have a burst or release of air, while unaspirated sounds do not. The next two sounds distinguish between the two, so pay close attention. The unaspirated one is
姐, 北京, 姐姐, 再见.
This sound is like a combination between a T sound and the constricted sh sound that you learned earlier. Try to keep the tip of your tongue behind the bottom teeth and use the blade of your tongue to make the contact instead. Additionally, this is an unaspirated sound, so you don't want to blow out a puff of air. Otherwise, you'd be saying a different word.
姐, 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 姐.
The aspirated one is
前, 去, 请.
This sound is identical to the previous one. However, the difference is that it's the aspirated counterpart, meaning you want to release a burst of air. Listen to how Yinru says it and try to hear the difference.
起, 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 起.
Well done! You just learned another 6 Chinese consonants.
2, 西, sh, 日, 姐, 起.
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so be sure to practice them. In the next lesson, you'll learn 5 more Chinese consonants that are unique to English speakers. How do these sounds compare to the ones you learned in the previous lesson? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn 5 Chinese consonants.
Z, c, r, ch, yu.
These consonant sounds do not appear in English, so they'll likely be new to you. Be sure to practice them because these are the unique sounds that learners often get wrong. Are you ready? Then let's get started. The first consonant is
Z, 早餐, 自己, 走吧.
This consonant sound is like a combination of a T and an S sound. It starts off as a T sound, but ends with an S sound. Here's a great tip. You can produce this sound by saying the word pizza. So one useful trick is to bounce off of the ending when trying to pronounce this consonant sound. Additionally, this is an unaspirated sound, so don't blow out a puff of air. Otherwise, you'd be making another sound.
Z, 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 z,
The next consonant is
菜，餐馆，厕所。
This sound is identical to the previous one. However, the difference is that it's the aspirated counterpart, meaning you want to release a burst of air. Here's a great tip. You can produce this sound by saying the word cats. Listen to how Yinru says it to hear the difference. The next consonant is
z，中文，重要，作者。
Do you remember the over-exaggerated SH sound from the last lesson? Well, this is a combination of a T sound and an over-exaggerated SH sound. Be careful though, because you still want to roll your tongue upwards into the R position. Make sure your tongue is curled upwards so that it touches just behind the gum ridge, and then release quickly. This sound is unaspirated, so you don't want to blow out a puff of air.
z, 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 z,
The next consonant is
ch，出发，长城，好吃。
This sound is identical to the previous one. However, the difference is that it's the aspirated counterpart, meaning you want to release a burst of air. Listen to how Yinru pronounces it.
ch, 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 ch.
And lastly, the final sound occurs when Y and U are paired together.
月，月，远，云。
This is like a Y sound, but with rounded lips. Try saying the English word you while rounding your lips. If that doesn't work, try rounding your lips first and then saying you.
鱼，鱼，鱼，鱼。
Well done! You just learned another 5 Chinese consonants.
z, c, r, ch, yu.
You've now learned all of the sounds that could possibly be pronounced in Chinese. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to produce all the tones in Chinese. Which sound was the most difficult to learn? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn about the tones in Chinese. Tone is the use of pitch to distinguish meaning, and it is an integral part of the Chinese language. Just like how mispronouncing a sound or misreading a character can have a huge impact on meaning, using the wrong tone can drastically change the meaning of a word or sentence too. It is therefore crucial that you learn how to use tones correctly. There are theoretically a total of 5 tones in Chinese. 4 main tones, which inflect a change in relative pitch, and 1 tone which is completely neutral. The tones are neutral,
嘛
high tone,
妈
rising tone,
麻
falling and rising tone,
马
and falling tone.
嘛
As you can see, using the wrong tone can be detrimental to communication. So let's go through them one by one.
爸
Though it isn't officially recognized as a tone in Chinese, we should talk a little bit about what it means to be neutral. To deliver something in a neutral tone is to say it in the most comfortable range without any changes in stress or pitch during delivery.
了
It's the least amount of effort required to deliver something. All other tones are relative to the neutral tone. What this means is that a high tone is only high relative to the speaker's normal, neutral range. So the neutral tone is like the base for all other tones. Neutral syllables do not need to be marked with any accents in written notation. The first tone is the high tone. It's marked with a horizontal line above the letter. It sounds like this.
书
It's pronounced high and steady, and the pitch should be kept at the highest range that's comfortable for you.
包
The key point here is to keep it even across the whole syllable.
书包
Now you try.
书包
The second tone is the rising tone. It's marked with a rising diagonal line going from left to right. It sounds like this.
人
It has a rising intonation and kind of sounds like you're asking a question.
烦
You should start from a comfortable range and then rise from there.
烦人
Now you try.
烦人
The third tone is the falling and rising tone. It's marked with an upward semicircle. It sounds like this.
好
This tone is often the most challenging for many students of Chinese. Starting from around mid-range, dip to the very bottom of your range until you feel like something is stuck in your throat, and then rise quickly to clear it.
脚
Using hand gestures while trying to pronounce this tone really helps. The key point here is bouncing off from the deepest part of your range.
雪
Now you try.
雪
The fourth and final tone is the falling tone. It's marked with a falling line going from left to right. It sounds like this.
下
It sounds like a fast, sharp drop. English speakers often associate this tone as being angry sounding.
课
It might help to imagine a pencil dropping as you're pronouncing this tone.
下课
Now you try.
下课
Now you know how to produce tones in Chinese. In the next lesson, we'll cover tone change rules in Chinese. Are tones as hard as you thought they were? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. In this lesson, you'll learn a few rules which will require you to change the tone of a syllable in a word or sentence. Pinyin is quite useful for showing you how to pronounce something in Chinese, however, it isn't a perfect system. You'll need to learn these rules because it won't be reflected in the pinyin. You can't have two falling and rising tones next to each other.
很好
When this happens, you need to pronounce every falling and rising tone, except for the last one, as a rising tone.
很好
Here's an example with 3 falling and rising tones in a row.
你很好
Okay, now let's move on to the next tone change rule.
不
This character is a falling tone by itself. However, if the next tone is also a falling tone, it will change to a rising tone.
不是不会不错一
This character is a high tone by itself or when it's used as a number. However, for all other cases, if the next tone is a falling tone, it should be pronounced as a rising tone.
一半一步一次
And when the next tone is any other tone that isn't a falling tone, then it'll be pronounced as a falling tone.
一般一直一起
It's quiz time! Let's see if you can apply these rules in the real world. How should you pronounce the first character?
不太
The next character is a falling tone, so this character is pronounced with a rising tone. What about this one?
一些
Since the next tone is a high tone, the first character is pronounced with a falling tone. If the next tone would have been a falling tone, then this character would have been pronounced as a rising tone. Okay, last one.
好懂
Remember, the first character is pronounced as a rising tone because you cannot have falling and rising tones next to each other. In this lesson, you learned a few tone change rules in Chinese. In the next lesson, we'll review the material that we've covered in this series. How did you do on the quiz? Please comment and share your thoughts. See you in the next Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide lesson. Hi everyone! Welcome to the Ultimate Chinese Pronunciation Guide. You've made it to the last lesson. Do you feel more confident about speaking in Chinese now? In the previous lessons, you learned all the core elements of Chinese pronunciation. In this lesson, we'll bring everything together and practice making complete sentences in Chinese. Make sure to practice out loud with this lesson. You know all the parts and pieces, but can you speak Chinese with a natural accent? If you've been quiet up until now, be sure to speak out loud with Yinru's examples. We're making the jump to real phrases that you might use in China. Let's go. You probably knew this phrase before you started this series, but did you know how to pronounce it correctly? Give it a shot.
你好你好
Remember the tone rule from the last lesson? When two falling and rising tones occur in a row, all but the last tone gets switched to a rising tone. Try one more time after Yinru.
你好你好
Now try something a bit longer. Take a moment and try to figure out how to pronounce this phrase. Remember everything you learned about consonant and vowel sounds.
中文学习中文学习
Did you get the first consonant sound right? Remember that it's a combination of a T sound and an over-exaggerated SH sound. What about the first vowel sound of the second word? Did you remember to pronounce it like the E in red while rounding your lips? Try once more.
中文学习中文学习
Ready to move on to full sentences? Here's your first one. How do you think you say this? Does it fall into any of the special tone rules you learned about?
我不会想你我不会想你
Did you remember to change the tone for the second character? Remember, when this character comes before a falling tone, it changes to a rising tone. There was another tone change here, wasn't there? Because we had two falling and rising tones in a row, all but the final tone changes to a rising tone. If you remember those, you're doing great. Try once more.
我不会想你我不会想你
Here's your final sentence. Think for a while and try saying it out loud.
再吃点儿吧再吃点儿吧
Did you pronounce to eat correctly? If you recall from lesson 2, this is one of the top 5 mistakes that Chinese learners make. You have to say it without adding an R sound. What about this character? This character is often attached at the end of a word. In this case, you do want to pronounce the Chinese R. Do you remember what it is? It's the over-exaggerating R sound where your tongue is curled behind your gum ridge. Make sure you say it in a neutral tone to make it sound natural. Repeat after Yinru.
再吃点儿吧再吃点儿吧
How did it go? Do you feel like you have a better accent than you did at the beginning of this series? What parts of Chinese pronunciation are still difficult for you? Good luck in your Chinese language studies. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. Today, we'll learn conversational phrases about occupations. After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your job and ask what somebody does for a living. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your occupation PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你是做什么的？我是艺术家。
Listen to it again, now with the English translation.
你是做什么的？
What do you do?
我是艺术家。
I'm an artist. First of all, you need to learn how to say, What do you do? That's.
你是做什么的？
Listen to it again.
你是做什么的？你是做什么的？
This Chinese sentence literally translates into, You do what? But it means, What do you do in English? Now, how do you answer this question? This is the pattern you'll need.
我是
Your occupation. I'm a, an, your occupation. For example, I'm an artist.
我是艺术家。我是艺术家。
Here are a few more professions you can use with the same pattern. Police officer,
警察。警察。
teacher,
老师。老师。
doctor,
医生。医生。
engineer,
工程师。工程师。
Now, listen to some examples.
你是做什么的？我是老师。你是做什么的？我是医生。你是做什么的？我是工程师。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, What do you do?
你是做什么的？
Imagine you're a doctor. Do you remember how to say, doctor?
医生。医生。
Say, I'm a doctor.
我是医生。
Now answer the question saying that you are a doctor.
你是做什么的？我是医生。
Now, imagine you're a teacher. Do you remember how to say teacher?
老师。老师。
Say, I'm a teacher.
我是老师。
Now, answer the question saying that you are a teacher.
你是做什么的？我是老师。
Now, imagine you're an engineer. Do you remember how to say engineer?
工程师。工程师。
Say, I'm an engineer.
我是工程师。
Now, answer the question saying that you are an engineer.
你是做什么的？我是工程师。
Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, how's your mother? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about well-being and ask how someone is doing. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Conversation About Family Well-Being PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你妈妈怎么样？她很好。
Once more with the English translation.
你妈妈怎么样？
How's your mother?
她很好。
She's fine. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how's your mother? That's,
你妈妈怎么样？
listen to it again.
你妈妈怎么样？你妈妈怎么样？
This Chinese sentence literally means, your mother how? But it translates as, how's your mother in English. Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
她很。
state of well-being. This Chinese sentence literally means, she very, but it translates as, she is state of well-being in English. For example, she's fine.
她很好。她很好。
Here are a few expressions related to well-being that you can use with this pattern. Great,
棒。棒。
fine,
好。好。
so-so,
一般。一般。
not good.
不好。不好。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
你妈妈怎么样？她很棒。你妈妈怎么样？她很一般。你妈妈怎么样？她不好。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how's your mother?
你妈妈怎么样？
Imagine she's great. Do you remember how to say, great?
棒。棒。
Say, she's great.
她很棒。
Now, answer the question saying she's great.
你妈妈怎么样？她很棒。
Now imagine she's so-so. Do you remember how to say so-so?
一般。一般。
Say, she's so-so.
她很一般。
Now, answer the question saying she's so-so.
你妈妈怎么样？她很一般。
Now imagine she's not good. Do you remember how to say not good?
不好，不好。
Say, she's not good.
她不好。
Now, answer the question saying she's not good.
你妈妈怎么样？她不好。
Most people who learn a foreign language learn it so that they can one day have real-life conversations with native speakers. When you start out learning and crack open your first textbook or listen to your first podcast, having a real conversation can feel like a fantasy. When everything about a language feels new, it can be overwhelming. But this couldn't be further from the truth. While it does take a significant amount of time and effort to become fluent, having a conversation might not be as far off as you think. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways you can boost your conversational skills and start talking to native speakers. Number 1, find native speakers and practice with them. It's unlikely you live near a big group of native speakers to practice with. If you happen to be in a major or international city, your chances may be better. Check and see if your city has a general language exchange. Chances are there could be a native speaker there who is also trying to learn another language. Practicing in person with a native speaker is probably the most interesting option for honing your speaking skills. But if you can't find anyone where you live, the next best option is to look online. Luckily for language learners, the past 10 years or so have seen an explosion in online language exchange sites. On these websites, you can search for someone who is a native speaker of your target language and is also learning your native language. The idea behind a language exchange is that you communicate with them via video or text chat, and half of the time, they help you practice your target language. And for the other half, you help them practice theirs. Practicing via an online language exchange is a highly effective way to practice your conversational skills. Number 2, work on pronunciation. Pronunciation is often an overlooked skill when it comes to learning a foreign language. Most people think of a good foreign accent as a luxury rather than a necessity. But what most people don't talk about is how having a good accent boosts your listening and comprehension skills. If you can hear a sound from a foreign language and know how to make it yourself, then you're more likely to understand native speakers when they talk at normal speed, and you're also more likely to remember any new words or phrases you come across. Having a good accent means that the language no longer sounds foreign. Instead, it sounds familiar, maybe even natural. So how do you go about perfecting your accent? The best way is to break down the language into its individual sounds. Make note of any sounds that are the same or similar to your native language and of those that are different. Of the sounds that are different, spend your time practicing the ones that you find the hardest to say correctly. After you're comfortable with the individual sounds, you can start linking together words and phrases. This is where accent practice starts to get really fun and interesting. Get your hands on some native speaker audio from a TV show, song, or podcast. Play the audio back and listen closely a few times. Take note of how words blend together in speech. Then, do your best to imitate what you hear, trying to match the speaker's emphasis and intonation. Our language learning program's playback feature is perfect for this. Record yourself and compare it to the original recording. Rinse and repeat until you're comfortable with the audio selection, and then move on to something more difficult. This is how you can break through the accent barrier and really start to make the language your own. Number 3, learn phrases, not just individual words. Learning grammar and individual words is great, but it's not the only approach you should take if you want to speak fluently. In addition to your regular grammar and vocabulary, try learning whole phrases, even if you aren't totally sure how they work grammatically. Learn phrases that are specific to your needs. It's a good idea to learn phrases that are grouped around a certain setting or subject, such as simple greetings or introductions, questions for getting to know someone, or traveling comfortably. You can even learn filler phrases, which you can use so that you have something to say when, well, you don't know what to say. Learning phrases like this will help you become conversational faster. You may not understand what you're saying literally, but as long as you know the general meaning behind the phrase and know when to use it, you'll be able to talk like a native. Eventually, your knowledge of grammar and vocabulary should catch up with the phrases you know. Learning a new language should feel like an adventure. There will be plateaus and periods in your learning where it feels like you're hitting a wall, but being able to speak with native speakers and have real conversations will help you combat language fatigue. After all, talking to someone face-to-face in a foreign language is one of the main reasons we start learning in the first place. And for even more ways to gain conversation skills, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Alicia here. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's the matter? After watching this video, you'll be able to make complaints and ask someone else if they're having any issues. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making Complaints PDF cheat sheet for free. Now let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
怎么了？
办公室很热，
Once more with the English translation.
怎么了？
What's the matter?
办公室很热，
The office is hot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what's the matter? That's,
怎么了？
listen to it again.
怎么了？怎么了？
This Chinese sentence literally translates into how, but it means, what's the matter in English. Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
办公室很
adjective. This Chinese sentence literally translates into office very adjective, but it means the office is adjective in English. For example, the office is hot.
办公室很热，办公室很热，
Here are a few more examples you can use with the same pattern to make complaints. Hot,
热，热，
cold,
冷，冷，
noisy,
吵，吵，
dirty,
脏，脏。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
怎么了？办公室很冷。怎么了？办公室很吵。怎么了？办公室很脏。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what's the matter?
怎么了？
Imagine the office is cold. Do you remember how to say cold?
冷，冷，
Say, the office is cold.
办公室很冷。
Now answer the question saying the office is cold.
怎么了？办公室很冷。
Now imagine the office is noisy. Do you remember how to say noisy?
吵，吵，
Say, the office is noisy.
办公室很吵。
Now, answer the question saying the office is noisy.
怎么了？办公室很吵。
Now imagine the office is dirty. Do you remember how to say dirty?
脏，脏，
Say, the office is dirty.
办公室很脏。
Now answer the question, saying the office is dirty.
怎么了？办公室很脏。
You've studied for a while and are ready to talk to people and practice what you've learned. But where do you start? Starting a conversation in a new language can seem a bit intimidating. How do you just jump into it? In this video, we'll look at 5 ways to start conversations. Number 1, introduce yourself in your target language. This is usually one of the first things you learn when you start studying a new language. And sometimes, starting a conversation, or continuing one, is as simple as introducing yourself. Number 2, talking about the weather. This is a universal talking point. People talk about the weather all over the world. And just saying, "It's really nice today," is enough to start a conversation. A great way to practice your weather conversation skills is to check out our Can-Do lesson pathway. This series of lessons teaches you how to talk about the weather in your target language. Number 3, give compliments. Compliments are a great way to start a conversation. You can compliment something about your conversation partner's city, country, or something specific to them personally. "Hey, your bag is super cute," or "That ice cream looks delicious." These kinds of compliments can lead to further conversation about what you complimented. In this case, it could be fashion or a local restaurant. This is a great way to make quick connections with people. Number 4, ask for help. For example, you can ask for directions, ask about prices, or request recommendations for restaurants or shopping spots, and let the conversation go from there. People are usually happy to lend a helping hand to tourists who are visiting their city. Number 5, learn phrases for transactions. This can include getting a room at a hotel or telling a taxi driver where to go. When you're traveling overseas, you'll need to talk to other people in your target language. And while this might be a bit scary at first, you'll find that the people you meet are just happy that you're trying to communicate with them. So get started talking in your target language now. For even more tips on how to start conversations, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to ask and answer the question, "How do you say this?" After watching this video, you'll be able to ask someone how a word is pronounced. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your How to Say Something PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
这个怎么说？
停车场。
Once more with the English translation.
这个怎么说？
How do you say this?
停车场，
It's parking lot. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, how do you say this? That's,
这个怎么说？
listen to it again.
这个怎么说？这个怎么说？
This Chinese sentence literally translates into this how to say, but it means how do you say this in English? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is word. In Chinese, we only say the word as the answer. For example, it's parking lot.
停车场，停车场，
Here are a few useful words you can use with the same pattern. Parking lot,
停车场，停车场，
morning,
早上，早上，
travel,
旅游，旅游，
invasion,
入侵，入侵，
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
这个怎么说？
早上，
这个怎么说？
旅游，
这个怎么说？
入侵，
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, how do you say this?
"这个怎么说？
Now, imagine it's the word morning. Do you remember how to say morning?
早上，早上，
Say, it's morning.
早上，
Now, answer the question saying it's morning.
这个怎么说？
早上，
Now imagine the word is travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
旅游，旅游，
Say, it's travel.
旅游，
Now, answer the question saying it's travel.
这个怎么说？
旅游，
Now imagine the word is invasion. Do you remember how to say invasion?
入侵，入侵，
Say, it's invasion.
入侵，
Now answer the question saying it's invasion.
这个怎么说？
入侵。
Want to speak your target language with confidence and impress native speakers? When learning to speak a new language, you have lots of things to think about, including grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Because you're thinking of all of these things and trying to speak, it can be difficult to communicate with confidence, especially in the beginning. This is why it's helpful to make confidence-building exercises part of your language learning process. In this video, you'll learn 7 ways to boost your confidence. 1. Read out loud. This might seem pretty basic, but it's a great way to practice speaking. Reading aloud lets you practice speaking without having to think about grammar or things to talk about. Reading out loud lets you focus on your pronunciation and the rhythm of the language. It can help you learn to speak more smoothly and quickly, without even thinking about it. If you're using our lessons, read the dialogue out loud as you listen. You can read along with the dialogue tool, the lesson notes, or the transcript. 2. Read like a child. This might sound strange, but think about children learning to read. They go slow and sound everything out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries before they read a new word smoothly, and a few more tries before they can read it at a natural pace. This example applies to language learning too. If you find a complex sentence in something you're reading, read it slowly at first, then speed up. With practice, you'll be able to say it easily. It might feel a bit silly to speak very slowly, but this kind of practice can help you identify tough sounds you might miss or say incorrectly when reading quickly. 3. Use the dialogue breakdown tool. If you're using our site, this is a great tool to take advantage of. It breaks down lesson conversations into individual lines. You can listen to the audio for each line, learn what each line means, and can reread and review as much as you want. 4. Use the voice recorder to record and compare yourself with native speakers. Just click on the microphone icon next to each line in the dialogue section. You can use this tool to perfect your pronunciation if you like, but this is also something you can use to work on speaking with confidence at native level speed. You'll find this tool in the dialogue section of all of our lessons. 5. Repeat and review old lesson conversations. Reviewing what you've studied in the past is the best way to make sure you maintain what you've learned. Go back to older lessons, download the lesson dialogue tracks, and re-listen to the conversations again and again. Or you can reread the dialogue lines from previous lessons until you've mastered them all. 6. Shadow conversations. Repeat what you hear out loud. This tactic is important, but it can be tricky when you're doing a brand new lesson. If you're reviewing dialogues from lessons you've done though, it's super easy to do. Just listen to the dialogue and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means mimicking the speaker as soon as they speak, following their intonation and rhythms as closely as possible. 7. Send recordings to your Premium Plus teacher. If you want to speak with confidence, there's no better confidence boost than feedback from a native speaker, and you get just that with a Premium Plus teacher. You can record yourself reciting a lesson dialogue or any dialogue of your own, and your teacher will give you specific tips on how to improve. From the tips your teacher gives you, choose at least one and practice, practice, practice. Being able to react quickly and with confidence in a conversation is typically not something you can do on your first try, but if you continue practicing, you'll gradually find yourself speaking with ease. And for even more ways to build your speaking confidence, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what's your favorite number? After watching this video, you'll be able to say many numbers and ask someone their favorite number. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Numbers PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是7。
Once more with the English translation.
你最喜欢的数字是多少？
What's your favorite number?
我最喜欢的数字是7。
It's 7. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, "What's your favorite number?" That's
你最喜欢的数字是多少？
listen to it again.
你最喜欢的数字是多少？你最喜欢的数字是多少？
This Chinese sentence literally translates into, "Your favorite number is how much?" But it means, "What's your favorite number?" in English. Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is
我最喜欢的数字是
number. This Chinese sentence literally translates into, "My favorite number is number." But it means, "It's number." For example, it's 7.
我最喜欢的数字是七。我最喜欢的数字是七。
Here are a few more numbers you can use with the same pattern. 7,
七，七，
2,
二，二，
4,
四，四，
9,
九，九。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是二。你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是四。你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是九。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, "What's your favorite number?"
你最喜欢的数字是多少？
Imagine it's 2. Do you remember how to say, "2"?
二，二，
Say, "It's 2."
我最喜欢的数字是二。
Now answer the question saying, "It's 2."
你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是二。
Now imagine it's 4. Do you remember how to say 4?
四，四，
Say, "It's 4."
「我最喜欢的数字是四。
Now answer the question by saying, "It's 4."
你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是四。
Now imagine it's 9. Do you remember how to say 9?
九，九，
Say, "It's 9."
我最喜欢的数字是9。
Now, answer the question saying it's 9.
你最喜欢的数字是多少？我最喜欢的数字是9。
Want to speak and understand more of your target language? If so, of course, you'll need to know more words and phrases than you do now. In this video, we'll cover 5 ways to master new words and phrases fast. Number 1, use our free vocabulary list. This is a free library of vocabulary and phrase lessons for all kinds of situations. You can learn words and phrases for current events, holidays like Halloween and Thanksgiving, and useful topics, like the top 10 ways to say hello, conversational phrases, and more. You'll learn phrases that you won't find in textbooks. If you want to learn extra fast, use the slideshow tool. Just tap or click on View Slideshow, then sit back and review the words and phrases. Find the vocabulary list in the vocabulary drop-down menu on the site. These vocabulary lists are free for all users. Number 2, take the audio and video lessons. One of the best ways to learn new words is by hearing and using them in conversations. This is because it gives you the opportunity to understand how the words are actually used. In every lesson dialogue, you'll likely come across some words you don't know. But don't worry, because our teachers translate everything. When you hear the conversation again at the end of the lesson, you'll be familiar with the words you didn't know at first. Number 3, learn with our 2,000 most common words list. A quick question. How many words do you think you need for conversational fluency? 3,000? 5,000? It's actually not as many as you think. Language experts say you need about 1,500 words to reach conversational fluency. With our 2,000 most common words list, you'll get access to key vocabulary words you need to boost your conversation skills. The words are broken down into simple categories, such as adjectives, nouns, verbs, food, drinks, numbers, months, and so on. So you can go category by category and focus on what you're most interested in first. With this tip, we're not talking about paper flashcards. We're talking about the smart flashcards that you can find in our premium study tools. This is an automatic system individualized for each member based on their study needs. First, you'll use the cards to check your knowledge. Then, according to your answers, the cards will be sorted according to which words you need more practice with. Words that you struggle with will be shown to you more and more. You'll see words that you know well less often. This system helps you study more efficiently. It displays the words you need to work on and knows when you should refresh your knowledge. This helps make sure you don't forget vocabulary. In every study session, these cards will help you refresh your memory on the words you learned last time and introduce new words. Number 5, use the words. After you learn a new word, using it right away is crucial to remembering it. So, when you're done with a lesson or a vocab list, here's something you can do. Leave a comment. Make up a sample sentence and post it in the comment section. Write it down in a notebook, or shadow the word with a lessons dialogue. Our language learning program is full of tools that can help you speak more. Just pick one and get started. If you want to unlock all of these study tools, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, we'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what kind of movies do you like? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about movies and ask other people about their favorite kinds of movies. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Talking About Movies and TV PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢恐怖片。
Once more with the English translation.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
What kind of movies do you like?
我喜欢恐怖片。
I like horror. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, What kind of movies do you like? That's,
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
listen to it again.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？你喜欢什么类型的电影？
This Chinese sentence literally translates as, You like what kind of movies? But it means, What kind of movies do you like? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
我喜欢
type of movie. I like type of movie. For example, I like horror movies.
我喜欢恐怖片。我喜欢恐怖片。
Here are a few more kinds of movies you can use with the same pattern to talk about movies. Horror,
恐怖片。恐怖片。
comedy,
喜剧。喜剧。
fantasy,
玄幻片。玄幻片。
romance,
言情片。言情片。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢喜剧。
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢玄幻片。
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢言情片。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, What kind of movies do you like?
「你喜欢什么类型的电影？
Imagine you like comedies. Do you remember how to say comedy?
喜剧。喜剧。
Say, I like comedy.
我喜欢喜剧。
Now answer the question saying that you like comedies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢喜剧。
Now imagine that you like fantasy movies. Do you remember how to say fantasy?
玄幻片。玄幻片。
Say, I like fantasy.
我喜欢玄幻片。
Now, answer the question saying you like fantasy movies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢玄幻片。
Now imagine you like romantic movies. Do you remember how to say romantic?
言情片。言情片。
Say, I like romance.
我喜欢言情片。
Now answer the question saying you like romantic movies.
你喜欢什么类型的电影？
我喜欢言情片。
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to answer the question, what are you doing during the holiday? After watching this video, you'll be able to talk about your holiday plans. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your National Holidays PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
你春节会做什么？
我打算去海边。
Once more with the English translation.
你春节会做什么？
What are you doing for Spring Festival?
我打算去海边。
I'm planning to go to the beach. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say, what are you doing for Spring Festival? That's,
你春节会做什么？
the Spring Festival marks the new year, according to the traditional Chinese calendar. Listen to it again.
你春节会做什么？你春节会做什么？
This Chinese sentence literally translates as, you Spring Festival will do what? But it means, what are you doing for Spring Festival? Now, how do you answer this question? The pattern is,
我打算
plan. I'm planning to plan. For example, I'm planning to go to the beach.
我打算去海边。我打算去海边。
Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk about your plans. Go to the beach.
去海边。去海边。
Travel.
旅行。旅行。
Stay home.
待在家。待在家。
Go to the movies.
去看电影。去看电影。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat, or speak along with the native speakers.
你春节会做什么？我打算旅行。你春节会做什么？我打算待在家。你春节会做什么？我打算去看电影。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, what are you doing for Spring Festival?
你春节会做什么？
Imagine you're planning to travel. Do you remember how to say travel?
旅行。旅行。
Say, I'm planning to travel.
我打算旅行。
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to travel.
你春节会做什么？ 我打算旅行。
Now, imagine you're planning to stay home. Do you remember how to say stay home?
待在家，待在家。
Say, I'm planning to stay home.
我打算待在家。
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to stay home.
你春节会做什么？我打算待在家。
Now imagine you're planning to go to the movies. Do you remember how to say go to the movies?
去看电影。去看电影。
Say, I'm planning to go to the movies.
我打算去看电影。
Now, answer the question saying you're planning to go to the movies.
你春节会做什么？我打算去看电影。
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to Conversational Phrases. We've found that the best way to learn a language is to speak it from day one. And the best way to start speaking is to learn phrases that you'll use in real conversations. In this lesson, you'll learn conversational phrases to use when talking on the phone. After watching this video, you'll be able to ask for someone on the phone and to put someone on hold. And if you want to learn more vocabulary, phrases, and example sentences you can use in real-life situations, click the link in the description to download your Making a Phone Call PDF cheat sheet for free. Now, let's take a look at some conversational phrases.
Listen to the dialogue.
您好，我找负责人。
好的，稍等一下。
Once more with the English translation.
您好，我找负责人。
Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, just a moment. First of all, you'll need to learn how to say hello on the phone. That's
您好，您好。
Then you'll need to learn how to say, I'd like to speak with person. The pattern is
我找
person. This Chinese sentence literally translates as, Hello, I look for person, but it means I'd like to speak with person. For example, Hello, I'd like to speak with the person in charge.
您好，我找负责人。您好，我找负责人。
Now, how do you answer this question?
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, just a moment. Listen to it again.
好的，稍等一下。好的，稍等一下。
This Chinese sentence literally translates as, Okay, wait a bit, but it means, Okay, just a moment. Here are a few more phrases you can use with the same pattern to talk on the phone. The person in charge,
负责人，负责人。
a sales representative,
销售代表，销售代表。
the manager,
经理，经理。
customer service,
客服，客服。
Let's look at some examples. Listen and repeat or speak along with the native speakers.
我找销售代表。
好的，稍等一下。
我找经理。
好的，稍等一下。
我找客服。
好的，稍等一下。
Okay, now it's your turn. Do you remember how to say, I'd like to speak with person?
我找
Person. And how do you answer it?
好的，稍等一下。
Imagine you want to talk to a sales representative. Do you remember how to say, a sales representative?
销售代表。销售代表。
Say, I'd like to speak with a sales representative.
我找销售代表。
Now say you want to talk to a sales representative and answer it.
我找销售代表。
好的，稍等一下。
Now, imagine you want to talk to the manager. Do you remember how to say, the manager?
经理。经理。
Say, I'd like to speak with the manager.
我找经理。
Now say you want to talk to the manager and answer it.
我找经理。
好的，稍等一下。
Now imagine you want to talk to customer service. Do you remember how to say customer service?
客服。客服。
Say, I'd like to speak with customer service.
我找客服。
Now say you want to talk to customer service and answer it.
我找客服。
好的，稍等一下。
When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Want to speak real Chinese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ChineseClass101.com.
Welcome to Top Chinese Words. My name is Ray. Today we are going to talk about 10 phrases for surviving back to school. Let's begin. 书包 backpack 书包 backpack 我的书包可沉了 My backpack is so heavy. I always have a question about the foreigners who travel to China or travel to other places. They always carry a super huge backpack, right? It's a mystery in China. Like, as a Chinese, we usually have a question like, why don't foreigners put their backpack at their hotels and just go enjoy, relax in the travel? Yeah. If you have an answer, please answer me in the comments. 同学 classmate 同学 classmate 我们是小学同学 We were classmates in elementary school. 家庭作业 homework 家庭作业 homework. 妈妈检查了我的家庭作业 Mom checked my homework. I think in China, most people will have the nightmare of never-ending homework from the school. If you finish your homework every day, like in high school, it's almost impossible. At least for me, yeah. 考试 exam. 考试 exam. 下星期就要考试了，我好紧张。The exam is coming up next week. I'm so nervous. Yeah, I'm nervous because I am scared if my cheat will get caught. 暑假 summer break. 暑假 summer break. 暑假总是过得很快。Summer break always goes by fast. If you have some person you really like at school, you will feel summer vacation goes by very slow. 学校 school. 学校 school. 我的学校离我家很近。My school is close to my house. 学习 to study. 学习 to study. 他学习很努力，老师们都很喜欢他。She studies very hard. All the teachers like her. If you're nerdy, all the teachers like you. Seriously, in China, if you're nerdy, teachers like you, and you're popular too. 今天是开学第一天。It's the first day of class. 今天是开学第一天。It's the first day of class. Usually, I get very excited about the first day of school, and I make my resolution on the first day of school. I'm gonna study hard, and I'm gonna make friends. I'm gonna do my homework well. I'm not gonna be late, but all my excitement will go away on maybe the next week, I guess. 我们在同一个班。We are in the same class. 我们在同一个班。We are in the same class. If you happen to find your elementary school classmates in the same class with you in the high school, and you happen to find him, so you're gonna say, Hey, 我们在同一个班. We're in the same class. 你是什么专业? What is your major? 你是什么专业? What is your major? When you go for a job interview, it's a question people will usually ask. What is your major? What did you study? What courses do you cover in your school? What is your major? 你是什么专业? Hi, my name is Ray. Welcome to Chinese Top Words. Today we are going to learn top 10 phrases you need for a date in Chinese. The first one, 我晚上可以请你吃个饭吗? Can I buy you dinner tonight? 我晚上可以请你吃个饭吗? Can I buy you dinner tonight? 吃饭 means have dinner, have meals, have lunch. 吃饭, 吃, eat. 饭 means meals. 吃饭 means having dinner, having lunch, having 3 meals. It's all 吃饭. So, 请吃饭 means I will pay. 请吃饭. 我请你吃饭. 你 means you. 我请你吃饭. 我请他吃饭. 他 means he. So, I will buy him dinner. I will buy you dinner. Buy you dinner. 请你吃饭. Buy him dinner. 请他吃饭. 请吃饭 means I will pay. 请吃饭 I will pay. 这个周末有空吗? Are you free this weekend? 这个周末有空吗? Are you free this weekend? Actually, comparing to this question, personally, I think you can ask, 你是周六有空还是周日有空? Are you free on Saturday or Sunday? So you actually leave the person you want to date, A or B. But if you ask, 这个周末有空吗? You leave like yes or no. So they have another choice, which is no. But if you say, 你是周六有空还是周日有空? Are you free on Saturday or Sunday? So both are yes. So it's a trick. 我们去 K 歌吧. Let's go to karaoke. 我们去 K 歌吧. Let's go to karaoke. Karaoke is very popular in China. I think karaoke in China is the best because the machine in karaoke place are very cool and new and easy to use. And we have songs from all over the world. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really recommend you to go to karaoke with your friends and your date. 你太可爱了. You're so cute. 你太可爱了. 你太可爱了 ，You're so cute。你真美 ，You look so beautiful。你真美 ，You look so beautiful。It's more written language. I think 你长得很漂亮 is pretty enough. 你很漂亮 ，You're pretty. 你真美 is too official and a little unnatural. 你今晚玩得开心吗 ？Did you have a good time tonight? 你今晚玩得开心吗 ？Did you have a good time tonight? So after you hang out with your date, you can ask how he feels, how she feels about tonight. You can say, 你今晚玩得开心吗？你吃饱了吗？ Did you get enough to eat? 你吃饱了吗？ Did you get enough to eat? Usually we do not ask this question, but I think it's kind of a necessary question in the date because usually dating place is kind of expensive and you get a small portion. So maybe you still want ramen after dating. 我载你回家 I will drive you home. 我载你回家 I will drive you home. More commonly used in the States, I think. 我送你回家 It's more common, I guess, like I will take you home by bus or by train or by taxi. 我载你回家 is like I will drive you home. 明天我们什么时候见 What time shall we meet tomorrow? 明天我们什么时候见 What time shall we meet tomorrow? 到家了告诉我 Let me know when you get home. 到家了告诉我 Let me know when you get home. I like this sentence. It sounds very considerate. Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to Chinese. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Ray.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Chinese grammar. Word order refers to the order in which words are structured to form a sentence in a given language. The basic word order for English is subject, verb, object, or SVO for short. Let's break down the English sentence, I ate an apple. We can see that the subject I is presented first, followed by the verb ate, and then finally the object apple is positioned last. This is the basic word order for sentences in English.
Now let's compare that same sentence. I ate an apple in Chinese. 我吃了一个苹果. If we break down this sentence, we will have 我 I, which is a subject, 吃了 which means ate or have eaten, a verb. Next, the object, 一个苹果 an apple. So the order is subject plus verb plus object, or SVO for short.
This is exactly the same order as in English. Let's try another basic sentence. I like Chinese.
I is 我 like is 喜欢 Chinese is 中文 So we put the subject first, then the verb, and then the object. Altogether we have 我喜欢中文
Now you know the word order in Chinese. Let's try to add more components to basic words to make longer sentences. Adding a time phrase in Chinese sentences is a little different than in English. In English, we put the when phrase in the last part of the sentence. For example, I eat an apple every day.
In Chinese, we put the time phrase after the subject. So we need to put every day after I. So we have 我 I 每天 every day 吃 eat 一个苹果 an apple subject plus time phrase plus verb plus objects 我每天吃一个苹果我的姐姐明天去美国我的 my 姐姐 older sister 明天 tomorrow 去 go to 美国 the United States
My older sister is going to the US tomorrow.
我的姐姐明天去美国
To add places, put them after the time phrases. For example, I eat an apple every day at home. In Chinese, that's
我每天在家吃一个苹果在家 means at home. So it's I every day at home eat an apple. 我每天在家吃一个苹果。
Let's try another one. I was born in the US in 1990. Remember, subject, time, place, and then verb.
我1990年在美国出生。我1990年在美国出生。
To form negative sentences, there are two ways for two circumstances.
You can use 不 or 没有。We use 不 in present tense sentences, or when you don't want to do something. 我不喜欢中文。I don't like Chinese. 我不去。I'm not going. 我不吃。I don't want to eat. We use 没有 in past tense, meaning didn't or haven't done something. 我没有吃苹果。I didn't eat the apple. 我的姐姐昨天没有去美国。My older sister didn't go to the US yesterday.
To form yes or no questions in Chinese, it can't be easier.
Just add a question marker, 么 at the end of a statement. You like Chinese is 你喜欢中文。To make it do you like Chinese, we simply put 么 at the end. 你喜欢中文吗？ Let's make 你每天在家吃一个苹果 a yes or no question. 你每天在家吃一个苹果吗？
Now you know how to ask questions with a yes or no answer. But how do you ask questions using question words, such as what, when, where, how, why, and which?
Let's put the above questions words into two groups. We put what, which, and where after the verb. It's like replacing the object with a question word.
For example, what do you like?
你喜欢什么？你 you 喜欢 like 什么 what
Which one do you like?
你喜欢哪个？你 you 喜欢 like 哪个 which one
Where do you like?
你喜欢哪里？你 you 喜欢 like 哪里 where
And for the rest of the question words, we put them before the verb, so it's subject, question word, verb, object. In some cases, you can omit the object to make the sentence concise. When are you going?
你什么时候去？你 you 什么时候 when 去 go
Why are you going to the US?
你为什么去美国？你 you 为什么 why 去 go to 美国 the United States
How are you going to go?
你怎么去？你 you 怎么 how 去 go
If we have a sentence with both a time phrase and a question word, which should go first? Just remember, question words are always stuck with verbs. So in this case, it would be subject, time phrase, question word, then verb.
你明天怎么去？你 you 明天 tomorrow 怎么 how 去 go How are you going to go tomorrow?
Basically, questions have the same order as SVO statements. Just remember to stick the right question words in the right places. And don't forget the question mark. Well done! Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Chinese uses the exact same SVO word order as English. From this, you learned how to form affirmative and negative sentences. And finally, you learned how to convert an affirmative sentence into a question. We've covered only the very basics of Chinese grammar. If you're interested in learning more, check out our Chinese in 3 Minutes video series. In that course, we teach you useful phrases while covering the fundamentals of Chinese grammar, and each lesson is only 3 minutes long. Bye!
Bye!
Hi everybody, Inru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer most of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, what are the different tones in Chinese? Many Chinese learners find the tones quite difficult because the intonation in Chinese is very special and very different from most other languages. There are 4 stress tones in Chinese. Let's run through them now. First tone, 一声, is high and steady. Ah. Second tone, 二声, starts with a little lower pitch and goes up. Ah. Third tone, 三声, is even lower. It first dips down, then rises. Ah. Fourth tone, 四声, starts high, then falls sharply. Ah. In addition to the above 4 tones, there's a special tone called neutral tone, 轻声. It doesn't come with any marks on top. To make the neutral tone, try to say it as in the first tone, except that you say it in a more light and short way, like ah. It's not only important, but crucial to master different tones in Chinese. There are so many words that come with the same pinyin spelling. If you don't get the tones right, it's very likely that your mispronounced tones will lead to misunderstandings or even embarrassment. A quick example. The pinyin and tone for Hanyu is with the 4th falling tone on Han, Hanyu. The pinyin and tone for Hanyu has a 2nd rising tone on Han, Hanyu. They sound quite close, right? But Hanyu is Chinese language, and Hanyu is actually Korean language. Don't get them mixed up, and be very careful with the tones. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them. 我们今天就到这里，下期再见。See you in the next episode. Bye. Hi everybody, Inru here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer more of your common Chinese questions. The question for this lesson is, how do I say no to an invitation politely? Chinese people are known to be very friendly and hospitable, especially when they know you're from another country and learning Chinese. You're probably going to be invited to their house for dinners or parties that you may not want to go to. How do you turn down these invitations without being rude? It would be ideal if a simple 不用了，谢谢, no thank you, would do. But the reality is, Chinese people always try to avoid using the word no. To turn down an invitation, you usually will first apologize for not being able to make it. Then give the reasons why you can't go, just like in the following conversation. 明天有空吗？来我家吃晚饭吧。Are you free tomorrow? Come have dinner at my place. 真不好意思，明天晚上我要上课，改天吧。I'm so sorry, I have to go to a class tomorrow night. Let's do it another time. In this conversation, person B didn't say no. Instead, she explained why she couldn't go and suggested doing it another time. This is the Chinese way. You don't want to say the word can't, 不行, or won't do, 不好. And you'll want to explain why. Many times, you don't even have to give the real reason. You can use a very vague term like 我有别的事情. I have other things to tend to. Or 我有别的安排. I have other plans. So if you don't want to go to a party and don't feel like giving the real reason, you might say 不好意思，我有别的事情去不了了。你们玩得开心? Saying no or turning down an invitation is not always easy. I believe it's not only difficult in the Chinese culture, but in many other cultures too. It's human nature that you don't want to say the word no. I hope after today's lesson you will find a way of saying no properly and politely in Chinese. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. That's all for today. 我们今天就到这里 and I'll see you in the next episode. 我们下期再见吧。
Hi guys! Welcome to this lesson. Today we are going to learn 10 questions you should know. Okay, let's get started. 你住在哪儿? Where do you live? 你住在哪儿? Where do you live? Which street? 住哪条街? Which building? 住哪个房子? And also you can just say that I live with my parents.
我住父母家 or I live in hotel. 我住宾馆。你叫什么名字 What's your name? 你叫什么名字 What's your name? It's a really common and basic question, but the more advanced, like 您贵姓 is very respect to this person. Just ask what's your family name. And also in China, 您贵姓 is more common than what's your name, maybe. 你好，你叫什么名字？我叫包雨婷。It's more advanced conversation. 您好，请问您贵姓？免贵姓包。你在哪儿工作 ？Where do you work? 你在哪儿工作 ？Where do you work? Maybe you can answer like the city. For example, 我在北京工作。I work in Beijing. And also you can answer the company name. You can answer like, 我在某某公司工作。你多大了 ？How old are you? 你多大了 ？How old are you? It's a secret question. But for this sentence, 你多大了 it's like to ask the small children, age from 3 years old to 12 years old, maybe. It's like, 小朋友，你多大了？ And for the teenager, especially for girl, you can ask like, 您芳龄几何？请问您芳龄 It also means, please tell me your age. And for the senior person, you can never use this sentence like, 您多大了？您几岁？ Oh no. You must ask like, 请问您高寿？你来自哪儿 ？Where are you from? 你来自哪儿 ？Where are you from? If you really want to know the hometown, you must ask, 您老家是哪里 ？That means where is your hometown? Where are you come from? And if you just speak, 您来自哪儿？你来自哪儿 ？Maybe I can answer like, I came from Beijing University. 你说什么 ？What did you say? 你说什么 ？What did you say? If you can't hear clearly about the question or the word from other people, you can ask, 不好意思，您说什么 ？If you feel very shocked about the words, you can speak like, 你说什么 ？It's 什么？洗手间在哪儿 ？Where is the bathroom? 洗手间在哪儿 ？Where is the bathroom? It's a survival Chinese, guys. You must know that. And also, I highly recommend it you speak more polite. Like, 不好意思，请问一下洗手间在哪儿 ？The person maybe will answer you. 你看，就在那边 ，just over there. 你在哪里学的中文 ？Where did you learn Chinese? 你在哪里学的中文 ？Where did you learn Chinese? I learned from YouTube channel. 我从 YouTube 视频上学的。I learned by myself. 我自学的。我的专业是中文。My major is Chinese. I learned from school. 我从学校里学的。你学中文多久了 ？How long have you been studying Chinese? 你学中文多久了 ？How long have you been studying Chinese? 1个月、2个月。Be attention about 个 1 month, 2 months, and also you can speak 1 year, 2 year. There is no 个。If you don't want to tell the person how long time, the exactly time, you can speak 没有多长时间 not so much time, or it's been a long time, 学了很久了。你的生日是什么时候 When is your birthday? 你的生日是什么时候 When is your birthday? For a Chinese person, like my family, it's a traditional family, so we use a lunar calendar, 阴历 and I will say, 我的阴历生日是几月几号 And for you, absolutely, you use the Western calendar. If you want to shock the native speaker, you can answer like 我的阳历生日是几月几号. That means my Western calendar birthday is which month, which day. Okay, that's all for today. Today we learn 10 questions you must know in Chinese. And guys, if you have any questions you want to know and about the question you don't know how to answer in Chinese, you can comment below, let me know. I can answer that. Okay, thanks for watching. Love you. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. Hi everyone. Do you know how to introduce yourself in Chinese? Today we are going to learn 10 lines for introducing yourself. 我的名字是雨婷。My name is 雨婷。我的名字是 My name is. The more casual way to say your name is 我叫雨婷。I'm called 雨婷。你好，很高兴认识你。Hello, nice to meet you. 你好，很高兴认识你。您好。You just can use 您好 to the respectable person, for example, your teacher, your leader, but you can't use in the same generation, friends. If you want to use for friends, you can use 你好. You can say like that. 你好，很高兴见到你 or 你好，很高兴认识你。我来自中国 I'm from China. 我来自中国 I'm from China. And if you want to introduce more about yourself, because China is so big, I want to say that I came from the north part of China. 我来自中国的北方。我住在北京 I live in Beijing. 我住在北京 I live in Beijing. When you introduce yourself, you can use 我住在 For myself, I live in 呼伦贝尔。我住在呼伦贝尔。呼伦贝尔 is my hometown. Please visit my hometown, 呼伦贝尔。You are super welcomed. 我是一名学生 I'm a student. 我是一名学生 You can tell your occupation, your career. For example, you are a teacher. You can say 我是一名老师。And if you are an engineer, you can speak 我是一名工程师。医生 doctor, lawyer 律师。And if you work for government, you can speak 我是公务员。我24岁 I'm 24 years old. Okay, next one, tell your age. Ha ha ha. Maybe sometimes you don't want to tell your age, but it's okay. 我今年24岁 I'm 24 years old. 我的爱好是摄影 My hobby is photography. 我的爱好是摄影 My hobby is photography. And also I love travel. 而且我也喜欢旅行。你喜欢旅行吗 Do you like to travel? 我喜欢听音乐 I enjoy listening to music. 我喜欢听音乐 I enjoy listening to music. And also, I also enjoy cooking. 我喜欢做饭 And watching movie. 看电影。我学习中文已经24年了 I have been learning Chinese for 24 years. 我学习中文已经24年了 I have been learning Chinese for 24 years. How long have you been studying Chinese? 你学中文多长时间了？我的梦想是成为一名中文老师 My dream is to be a Chinese teacher. 我的梦想是当一名中文老师 My dream is to be a Chinese teacher. So here I am. I hope you can enjoy my lesson. 我希望你们喜欢我的中文课。Okay, guys, that's all for today's lesson. Today we learned 10 lines you need for introducing yourself. And if you have some questions, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. I have been learning Chinese for 24 years.
Want to speak real Chinese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at ChineseClass101.com.
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the 10 phrases you always want to hear. 你今天气色不错. You look great today. 你今天气色不错. You look great today. 你今天气色不错哦. For girls, you can say like, 你今天真漂亮. That means you are so beautiful today. For boys, you can say like, 你看起来真精神今天. That means you look great today. 你真棒. You are awesome. 你真棒. You are awesome. Chinese people like to compliment people, especially during the working or study. When you make a small progress, they will say some compliment like 你真棒. You are awesome. 你是对的. You're right. 你是对的. 今天真的下雨了. You are right. Today is really raining. 你是对的. 今天真的下雨了. You are right. It's raining. 干得漂亮. You did a great job. 干得漂亮. You did a great job. You are playing basketball and you got a goal. And your teammate will say, you did a great job. 干得漂亮. 我想你. I miss you. 我想你. I miss you. For I miss you, maybe you can use the very close friends and family member. But if you want to say I miss you to your teacher or your boss, you can speak like 我很想念您. And also this sentence is like just use for the letter. And if you want to email your teacher, you can speak 敬爱的老师，我很想念您。我给你带了些礼物。I brought you some gifts. 我给你带了些礼物。I brought you some presents. In China, if your friends invited you to their home for the dinner, if you want to keep the good manner, it's better you bring some gift. The present doesn't have to be very expensive, just like fruit and tea, it's okay. 月底发奖金. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. I think everyone loves the salary, is that right? And also in China, in the end of the year, during the Spring Festival, every boss, the good boss, will offer the employee a big bonus. We call it 红包. 你身材真好. You are in good shape. 你身材真好. You are in good shape. To be honest, guys, this sentence is really, really important. So please remember this. 你身材真好. Especially when you meet a girl, you can speak the first, 你真漂亮. The second, 你身材真好. That means you are beautiful and you're in good shape. The girl will be really, really happy. 你做得对. You did the right thing. 你做得对. You did the right thing. I think everyone wants to do the right thing, right? And someone will say, you are right, you did the right thing. That's great. 我有一个惊喜要给你. I have a surprise for you. 我有一个惊喜要给你. I have a surprise for you. Actually, sometimes when someone tells you, I have a surprise for you, you will imagine here, what kind of surprise? And sometimes it's really a surprise, a gift. But sometimes just your friends want to trick you. 你朋友想捉弄你. And your friends will offer you a little creature. 你的朋友会给你一个小虫子. My friends always trick me like this. 我的朋友经常捉弄我. Okay, guys, today we did the 10 phrases you always want to hear. Which one would you like to hear? I highly recommend you remember the first, you are in good shape. 你身材真好. The second, you did a great job. 干得漂亮. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye bye. See you later.
Hi, welcome to Chinese Top Words. My name is Ray. Today we are going to cover must-know expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Let's start. 我同意 I agree. The first one is 我同意 I agree. No matter who agree, there is no change, transformation of the word. So no matter it's you agree, he agrees, they agree. 我同意，你同意，他同意。我双手赞成 I raise both of my hands to agree, meaning I can't agree more. 我双手赞成 I raise both my hands to agree. Indeed, this sentence means I can't agree more. I strongly agree with something. If my colleague Megumi said, let's go to karaoke, I will say, 我双手赞成 I can't agree more. I really want to go to karaoke as much as you do. 你说的很对 What you said was very true. 你说的很对 What you said was very true. For example, if you ask somebody a question and that person explained to you very well, then you can say, 你说的很对 What you said was very true. It makes sense to me. 我和你的看法很一致 My opinion is on the same page as yours. 我和你的看法很一致 It means my opinion is on the same page as yours. This sentence is usually used on very official occasion. For example, in a business meeting, you can say it to your client or to your boss. 我正要说这个 I was just going to say that. 我正要说这个 It means I was going to say that. So when you speak the Chinese version, you have to emphasize a little bit more on 正. What you just said was really what I have been thinking in my heart. You said what I want to say. 我不同意 I don't agree. 我不同意 I don't agree. If somebody said, I think this phone is the best phone. So you can say, 我不同意 I don't agree. 我认为不是这样的 I don't think this is right. 我认为不是这样的 I don't think this is right. Usually, I don't say this 我认为不是这样的 I usually only say 不是这样的 This is not right. Because obviously it is my opinion. So you can say either way. 我认为不是这样的 or 不是这样的我和你的看法恰恰相反 My opinion is actually the very opposite of yours. I have a friend who always tells me his living purpose is just for eating, for enjoying food. I always say, like, 我和你的看法恰恰相反 My opinion is actually the very opposite of yours. To eat is for living, not to live for eating. 我觉得这行不通 I don't think this is going to work. 我觉得这行不通 I don't think this is going to work. So this sentence can be used casually or in business circumstances, whichever is fine. When you think, this plan is not practical, you can say, 我觉得这行不通 I don't think this is going to work. 不一定 not necessarily. 不一定 not necessarily. So this one is very commonly used in our everyday life. So for example, are you going to the party tomorrow? 不一定 Do you think it's going to rain tomorrow? 不一定吧我觉得不会明天 I think tomorrow is going to be a sunny day. Thank you for watching Chinese Top Words. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. If there's anything about agreeing or disagreeing, any phrases you specifically want to know, please comment below this video. Let us know. And don't forget to check out ChineseClass101.com. I'll be there. Bye!
Hi everyone, welcome to Chinese Weekly Words. This week we are going to talk about hobbies this week. Hobbies, 爱好. First one we have 书法. 书法 means calligraphy. I took a calligraphy lesson when I was little, but I couldn't hang on. 我爷爷的书法写得很漂亮. My grandfather's calligraphy is really good. Okay, 下一个是吉他. Jita is an instrument, which means guitar. If you want to buy a guitar, you may ask, 这个吉他多少钱? How much is this guitar? Next one is 滑冰. 滑冰 is ice skating. I don't know how to do that, but so I can say 我不会滑冰. It means I don't know how to ice skate. Next one, 下一个是上网. 上网means to surf the net, to go on the internet. It's a like daily activity, at least for me. 我每天都会上网. I surf the net every day. Next one is 画画. 画画 means to draw. 小朋友都很喜欢画画. Children like to draw. Okay, that's the end. So today we talked about hobbies. So what is your hobby? You can leave us a comment. And I will see you next week on Chinese Weekly Words. 下周见，拜拜。Hello everyone, welcome to Chinese Weekly Words. 大家好，我们又见面啦。And this week we're going to talk about what? Life events. 出生 means to be born. 我是7月出生的。My birthday is in July. 毕业 is graduation. 他的父母去参加了他的毕业典礼. Her parents went to her graduation ceremony. Okay, 下一个是工作 to work or job. 我的第一份工作是老师. My first job is to be a teacher. 订婚 engage. 我最好的朋友订婚了. My best friend got engaged. 死 is to die. 我不想死 means I don't want to die. Also because the pronunciation of number 4 is 4 is very close to 死. In China, number 4 is not a very lucky word. So that's the end. We talked about life events. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be here with you next week. 再见.
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the Dialogue Study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the two recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Welcome to Chinese Top Words. My name is Ray. Today we are going to cover 20 travel phrases you should know. Let's get started. 我可以要一张地图吗? Could I get a map? 我可以要一张地图吗? Could I get a map? Map, map. If you use your hand gesture enough, I think Chinese will know what you want. Yeah. 你会讲英语吗? Do you speak English? 你会讲英语吗? Do you speak English? So when you see m at the end of a sentence, Chinese sentence, you will know this is a sentence for asking a question. 什么什么么? What么? 有没有从机场进入市区的巴士? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? 有没有从机场进入市区的巴士? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? So in China, since we have a big population, especially in the airport or in a train station, sometimes we need to line up for the taxi. So it may be a very useful sentence when you get to the China for the first time. Wi-Fi 是免费的吗? Is the Wi-Fi free? Wi-Fi 是免费的吗? Is the Wi-Fi free? Another common question is, what is the Wi-Fi password? Wi-Fi 的密码是什么? 今晚有房间吗? Do you have any vacancies tonight? 今晚有房间吗? Do you have any vacancies tonight? So different from English, we put the time in front of a sentence instead of at the end of the sentence. So 今晚 means tonight. 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? Could I move to a different room? 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? Could I move to a different room? So when you're not satisfied with the room, maybe it's filled with smoke smell, you can use this sentence. 我可以换一个其他的房间吗? 无烟房. 无烟房 means non-smoking room. 我有预定. I have a reservation. 我有预定. I have a reservation. You can use it in a restaurant or in a hotel. 可以给我们看一下菜单吗? Could we have the menu, please? 可以给我们看一下菜单吗? Could we have the menu, please? 菜 means dishes. 单 means list. So a list of dishes, it means menu in English. 你有什么推荐吗? Do you have any recommendations? 你有什么推荐吗? Do you have any recommendations? So speaking of Chinese dishes, my favorite one is tomato fried eggs. 西红柿炒鸡蛋. I strongly recommend it. Please try it. 可以给我结账吗? Could I have the check? 可以给我结账吗? Could I have the check? So in China, when you go to a restaurant, go having dinner with especially your close friends or your family, one Chinese specific situation might happen. Like everybody will fight for check. Could I have the check? 我可以结账吗? It's not so often heard, but instead it's like, I want the check. 我要结账. Yeah, in China, people like paying for their close friends and family. 我对花生过敏. I'm allergic to peanuts. 我对花生过敏. I'm allergic to peanuts. Among my friends and my family, I've never heard anybody is allergic to anything. I guess we were born strong. 请给我一杯水. Water, please. 请给我一杯水. Water, please. I would recommend you to say 请给我一杯冰水. Because in China, many people like hot water. Me too, I like hot water. So if you do not add 冰 means ice. So 冰水 means ice water. So if you don't add that, you probably get a hot water. 这个多少钱? How much is this? 这个多少钱? How much is this? So if you go shopping in China, if it's not department store, usually the price is not written on the product. So the merchant may offer different prices depending on the people. You have to always ask and always negotiate. Otherwise, you will get overcharged. But also enjoy the fun of negotiating the price. 我要10个这个. I'd like 10 of these. 我要10个这个. I'd like 10 of these. If you feel this sentence too long for you, you can say 这个我要10个. Or you can say 10个. This is a Chinese way of showing 10. 你能给我打个折吗? Could you give me a discount? 你能给我打个折吗? Could you give me a discount? So like what I have said before, in China, negotiating price is very common, except the department store. So this could be very useful. 能刷信用卡吗? Do you take credit card? 能刷信用卡吗? Do you take credit card? In China, personally, I don't use credit cards so often. I just use my cash or like an account in my phone. So I just show my phone. It's like Apple Pay. It's very easy and convenient. 火车站在哪里? Where is the train station? 火车站在哪里? Where's the train station? So we put where at the end of the sentence in Chinese. So be careful, reverse the order. 请问车费是多少? Excuse me, what's the fare? 请问车费是多少? Excuse me, what's the fare? Usually you use this sentence when you take a taxi. So when you get to the destination, you can ask the taxi driver. 请问车费是多少? 能不能帮我拍张照? Could you take a picture of me, please? 能不能帮我拍张照? Could you take a picture of me, please? Instead of asking this favor in a question, you can also say, 请帮我拍张照. Please take a picture for me. 这是去机场的巴士吗? Is this the right bus for the airport? 这是去机场的巴士吗? Is this the right bus for the airport?
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Chinese ebook before it's gone.